everyone, it's Christy and I'm here with Sandhya Menon, who is here at Hicklebee's. I am so thrilled to be here with her. Thank you for coming back to us.
Are you kidding? It was my pleasure. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so happy that you come. And we are here today for From Twinkle with Love, which is Sandhya's latest novel. It just came out.
On Tuesday, yes.
Oh my gosh, was it only Tuesday?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been so long. It's been so long. So when we first met, Dimple wasn't even out yet. So when we first did our first interview at Y'all West, Dimple wasn't even out yet, which is crazy to even think about. Now your second book is on the shelf. It's right over there. It looks so beautiful. So what has the last year been like for you, and what are you looking forward to in the next year?
Wow, so last year has been completely surreal. It's been crazy cool to connect with readers, just like, email, festivals, all this stuff, like interviews, and like some of them are just have become really we've become comfortable friends, like you and I talk and stuff, and so that's been the coolest part of this last year. And then in the next year, I'm really looking forward to a lot more books. Like I have 2 books coming out next year.
Oh, 2 books coming out next year. It's going to be a busy year for you.
Yes. And so I was just thinking about it, like the end of next year I'll have 4 books out, which is weird. When you do it, you're like, the first time feels like such a lucky thing, and then you're like, whoa.
And you have all the time to write it now.
Yeah.
And you've got 4 you've got to put out in the
deadlines.
next. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I'm really excited.
How are you surviving the deadlines? All touring. I mean, you've been busy. Coffee. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it's a secret to everything.
It is the secret to everything. I'm a big coffee drinker, so I totally get that. So one thing I learned really early on about Sandhya is that she is an avid Supernatural fan, which in this part of the world is a perfect thing because our friend Anna is also a fan. So we are all one big Supernatural family around here.
Yes.
And there are multiple Supernatural references in the book, including a reference to my favorite season, which I just felt like, yeah.
Which one?
Season 7 is my favorite. So the Leviathan. Yes. So there's a major reference to that. There's references to Winchester Plaid, and you were speaking to me when you were talking about that. So I'm totally on that. So I'm curious if you could talk about a little bit who you would pair up from Twinkle and Supernatural, either as friends or frenemies, because we know we have the characters in Supernatural, like Crowley is everybody's frenemy.
Yes.
So who would you pair as friends or frenemies from Twinkle with Supernatural characters?
So with Twinkle characters with Supernatural characters. Oh.
Not as love interest, although certainly. I mean, you could pair yourself with Jensen Ackles with Dean. That's totally fine.
It's already happened in my head.
Absolutely,
so
it's headcanon for sure. I can get behind that.
Yes.
I can totally get behind that. So who would you pair from Twinkle with Supernatural characters?
Okay, so I think Twinkle I would pair with Castiel. I just feel like they would get along really well with his dryness and the fact that he doesn't get sarcasm, and I feel like she'd feel immediately comfortable, like she doesn't have to perform on any level and just be herself. And then I think Sahil would get along really well with Dean because Dean is just, he's badass, and I think Sahil would idolize him, I think Sam and Maddie would get along really well because Sam's a nerd too. And Maddie's such a nerd, so yeah, those would be very pairings.
I love it! That is so perfect. Okay, I totally was going to pair Twinkle with Cass, so I think that's perfect. Totally
there you
perfect.
Go.
So in the book, Twinkle writes these letters to her favorite directors, and I love the last letter. I won't spoil it for anybody, but I love the last letter. I was like, I'm going to cry.
I cried while writing it, so that's good to hear.
It was so emotional. It's so good. So what was it like to use that format? It's a little bit different than how you told Dimple. What was it like to use that format as part of her story? And who would you write letters to if you were Twinkle?
Oh, wow. So as far as writing the epistolary format where Twinkle writes letters to her favorite female filmmakers in her diary, I was really intimidated at first because it was something I always wanted to do, was write epistolary format novel. But once my editor gave me the go-ahead, I was like, oh crap, now I actually have to do it. And how am I going to do this thing? And so it was really intimidating. But once I started, I found that it was much easier to slip into the character's head because you are that character while you're writing that diary entry. And it was so much more intimate feeling. In fact, I had to try really hard not to do any author intrusion, and I had to take out some parts that were me rather than Twinkle.
Right. Yeah.
So that was really an interesting kind of venture. And then what was the other question?
If you were Twinkle, not necessarily Twinkle like the filmmaker or director, but you as Sandhya were in that role as Twinkle writing, who would you write to, or what type of people would you write to?
Gosh, I would probably write to female writers, honestly. Just like, you know, all the stuff, all the crap that we have to go through to be female writers in our field, and the stuff that people are talking about more but don't talk about a lot, you know, the sexism and the harassment, and just knowing that there are people who did it before you and who might be looking out for you in some way is so empowering. So
I love that you've taken that role on. Like I've seen the conversations and the interactions, and I so appreciate you engaging in that.
Thank you.
So
That's awesome.
Are there any writers in specific you would write to? Maybe even right now?
Wow, right now. So I think Sophie Kinsella would be like at the top there, because I think she's a comedic genius.
Yes.
And because she's a woman, like people don't heap her with the accolades that I feel like she would have gotten if she were a man. So definitely her. I mean, so many YA authors. Like, I mean, I'm looking at The Bells right now. Danielle Clayton's The Bells is one of my faves. I love Steph Garber. She's been like a mentor to me. Becky Albertalli too. So many. Jenny Han. I love Jenny Han's work. Stephanie Perkins. I mean, yeah.
I feel like all those people would actually accept your letters, and they would be like, they'd write you back. They'd be great pen pals.
It'd be so sweet, yeah.
So if you haven't yet checked out From Twinkle with Love, it is out in stores now. It is out in hardcover and also on audiobook, which I listen to it. It is dual narrated. I listen to it. It's dual narrated. It is fabulous. I highly recommend it.
And it's got the same male narrator as the Dimple audiobook.
But it didn't feel like crossover to me, so that was good. Like I felt like they were very distinct. So it was really, really, really good. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, now is the time. And is Dimple out on paperback yet?
It is.
So there you go. You've got both that you can pick up. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.